Hi, I'm Denise Chapline. I am originally from York, Pennsylvania. I grew up there. My ancestry is Pennsylvania German, and my parents were both raised on farms, so I spent a good bit of my childhood at my grandparents doing the chores, gathering the eggs and milking the cows, and actually picking the corn just as the water was boiling, so it would be at its prime. Cooking was a very important part of our family life. Everything had to be homemade, hot, and just prepared as best you can do. My mother was an excellent cook. She was a stay-at-home mom, and she spent a lot of her time in the kitchen. And while she acquired probably hundreds of recipes in her lifetime, I think she had what every good chef needs, which is an innate ability to know what tastes good together and just how much to use. So as a kid, I was her tester and I was her helper, and learned to cook at her side. When I graduated from high school, I left to go to Penn State University up at the main campus, and probably for the first time in my life began to meet people that didn't look and sound just like me. I met people from other countries, people from different ethnic backgrounds, different religions, different points of view. It was very exciting, and many of the friends that I made at Penn State came from the Philadelphia area. And when they would go home to visit, I would tag along, and I got quite passionate about living in an urban environment and in a culture of diversity. Literally 3 days before graduation from Penn State, I got a call from a good friend of mine, who happens to now be my husband of 38 years, saying, if you don't have anywhere else to go, why don't you come down to Philadelphia and give it a shot? He said, my parents have a big old 9-bedroom house, and they've got plenty of room, and we have had many visitors like yourself come down and stay for a period of time. So I literally drove directly from Penn State to Philadelphia, and I never looked back. Living in Mt Airy was absolutely fabulous for me. I met so many different kinds of people, and everyone was so welcoming, and they really did their best to include me in their circles, even though I didn't always understand what they were talking about or what they represented. My mother and father-in-law, Joe and Julia Chapline, were quite well known in Mt Airy. My mother-in-law was a realtor at Twin Realty and a musician, and she had been part of the group that started the Allens Lane Arts Center. My father-in-law was the choir master and organist at the Unitarian Church of Germantown, and he built pipe organs in the basement of their Upsall Street house. Everywhere I went, someone knew either Joe or Julia Chapline, and it was very easy to feel like I was a fit because I had such a nice path to follow when I came to the community. I got my first job as a community organizer working in what now is the Graduate Hospital area. It was known as something different back then, and my first office was located in the 1500 block of South Street. Looked a little different back then than it does today. I think I might have been the only Caucasian woman who worked in that area at that time, and I was there on a daily basis giving out community flyers and organizing community meetings around things like zoning and housing and parks. And I felt very safe there. The store owners and the community regulars really kept an eye out for me and took good care of me. After that, I worked for a couple years at the Community Development Office for the City of Philadelphia, and then went on to become the Executive Director of the Allegheny West Foundation. After that, I helped start the new Manayunk Corporation, and then did fundraising for 12 years at United Cerebral Palsy Association. About 12 years ago, I got my real estate license, joined forces with my now business partner, Larry DiFranco, and we became the DiFranco Team at Elfant Wissahickon Realtors. Life as a realtor has been really different than anything I've done before. It has really incorporated all of the qualities and the skills that I've learned from all of my other many jobs. Gives me the opportunity to work with people on lifetime goals, whether it's a young couple starting out buying their first house, or it's an older family looking to downsize and trying to figure out what comes next. Everyone has a story, everyone has a different path, and I enjoy the problem solving and just the spending the time with people. So it has been an enjoyable 12 years, and I like doing it very much. My husband that I mentioned earlier, Phil Chapline, and I have been together for a long time. We've raised 2 girls, Emily and Gillian, and we are currently enjoying our 2 young grandsons, Ethan and Jonathan. Everybody in the family likes to cook, and we all enjoy the recipe that I have suggested for this evening, which is called chicken lemon basil soup. It starts out with a good hearty stock that I make by boiling down a whole chicken, and to that you add carrots and onions and garlic. A little bit later on, chopped spinach and basil, and probably most importantly, the lemon juice. There's something about the combination of the lemon juice, the basil, and the chicken that just makes this soup really fresh and seems to have people coming back for more. Just a funny story, we as realtors oftentimes when we have a new listing will invite our local realtors to come in for a free lunch so that we can expose the house. And I feel as though I get my fair share of realtors at our brokers' open houses just on the reputation of the soup that I serve. So remember that this is a fundraising event. We are raising funds for the Seminary, for the Aubrey Arboretum, and for East Mt Airy Neighbors Association. So please, if you can do so, vote for me online, vote for me this evening, vote often, give generously, and thank you for participating.